A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us start the session with the snippets. Good morning, art world. The very first one over here, Supreme Court questions government on source of authority. Almost all the words are very simple. There is nothing to learn from this snippet. Jaishankar arrives in Islamabad. Now imagine he arrived yesterday. The writer has to use, the headline has to be in past. Jaishankar arrived in Islamabad. But if you take journalists, there's a particular style. What is that style? They use for past and future events, they use a present tense, but only for headlines. Here it has to be Jaishankar arrived in Islamabad, but deliberately, intentionally, they use present tense, either past event or future event. You should not get confused. Imagine there was a match between India and Australia. India won the match. Headline has to be India won the match against Australia. But you see the headline, India wins the match against Australia. That is their style. You should not get confused. Next one, opposition MP slam conduct of JPC chair. There are two words over here. One is slam. Exactly. Who is this? Manasa. Good. Coming to the word slam, recently we have got many a time. Slam means what? Criticize severely. Yes, Lalita, you're right. Criticize severely. Slam someone. One meaning. Another meaning, imagine I'm very angry. I close the door with the force. Then you can say, master slammed the door. Close something using force. There also we use the word slam. Don't slam the door. Everyday English. Coming to the word, here it can be conduct as a verb, conduct as an adjective. When you leave the college, you ask for CC. What do the letters stand for? Conduct certificate. There it is an adjective, the pronunciation conduct, behavior. But here conduct as a verb. Here it is an adjective. Conduct as a verb. They conduct the program well. Both the things you have to know. Half UAPA cases pending for over 3 years. Process is punishment under draconian law, an important word. Draconian law means very strict. A particular law is very strict. You can use words like strict, stringent, stern. But better expression, draconian law. That you have to remember. India takes on New Zealand in test series from today. Take on, here it means face, play against New Zealand. Coming to the main headline, Maharashtra Jharkhand election in November. Nothing to learn as such. Omar Abdullah to be sworn in. To be sworn in, this is in passive voice. To be sworn in as Jammu and Kashmir CM today. Tamil Nadu government CITU differ on end of Samsung strike. Here differ means what? Not to agree, oppose. UAE to review India's concerns on import surge. We have one more here. UAE, US, Philippines. Tell me why are they important? Differ takes a proposition from. Good, Nagesh. Why are they important? Why should you focus as a smart learner? If you take names of countries, they are proper nouns. Before a proper noun, we should not use any article. That is a general rule. But in English, we have rules, we have exceptions. Before the names of some countries, though they are proper nouns, we have to use a definite article, the. What are the important examples? The Netherlands, the Philippines, the Irish Republic. Other examples not that important, the USA, the UK, the UAE. This you have to recollect. Good morning, Kavya. Coming to concerns on import surge. Again, there are two words you have to focus on. Concern. A common error, surprisingly, those are good at English also. When they go to someone's office, they say, I would like to meet the concerned person. That is wrong. Concerned person is not correct. Good morning, banking warrior. You have to say, I would like to meet the person concerned. Concerned person means he has concern for you. You're a stranger. Why should that person have concern for you? But when you say, I would like to meet the person concerned, it means what? The person related to that department or the person related to that particular work. So, this you have to recollect. And this word surge we have got many a time, especially at the time of COVID. The newspapers would use this word. Surge has two different meanings. One meaning of surge, sudden increase. You can also use words like, who is this Nagesh? Surge, spike, sudden increase, spiral, but the usage differs, varies. That you have to know. Another meaning of the word surge, sudden forward movement. That also you have to know. US, but here headline you don't see the definite article. Don't get confused. This is newspaper English. US Philippines launch joint military drills related to defense. We have a nice pic over here, chariot run. So what is this? This is a chariot and chariot run. Where do you come across? If you go to Calcutta, West Bengal, you come across, and this landmark building is Victoria Memorial in Calcutta or Kolkata now. So, what does the pic say? A heritage horse carriage takes tourists past the Victoria Memorial in Kolkata. Take tourist past means beyond that building, crossing that building. Imagine this is a building. I went from this side to that side. How do I express that in English? I will say, I went past the building, means I crossed the building. That's an important expression you have to know. The carriage operators are struggling to keep the business running. Business running, again, you have to know, amid, in the middle of declining demand. Declining means what? Going down. Declining standards, declining numbers, declining quality combinations. And objections from animal rights groups. Chariot run. This is something very disturbing. Indian diplomats were involved in extortion and homicide, alleges Canada. There are three words, important words. Why is it disturbing? Canadian government accuses or alleges that Indian diplomats are involved in extortion. The word extortion means, it's a negative word. Extortion means you threaten someone for money, for anything but usually for money. You threaten someone, intimidate someone, and you take money from that person. That is nothing but extortion. Extortion goes with underworld, gangs, dons, and you are talking about diplomats over here. How can they use the word extortion in relation to diplomats? That is something not acceptable. Indian diplomats were involved in extortion and homicide. Another important word, homicide. Side means what? Kill. We have got many a time. Side means what? Kill. And there are so many, side is a suffix. There are so many words you have to think of. I have given many a time. Let me talk about this one, homicide. Homicide means what? Homicide means one person killing another person. Side means killing, homo, man, homicide. It is a case of homicide, means what? One person killing another person. But if someone tries to kill people of a particular race or community, then what do you say? An important word. We say genocide. What is the word for that? Genocide. We have got this many a time, but no problem, we have to, helps in consolidation. Genocide means killing people of a particular race or community. Banking warrior, remember, not only a race but also a community. 1984, Indira Gandhi was assassinated in Delhi. That time, many Sikhs were attacked and they were killed. For that also, Sikhs, a community, for that also we can use the word genocide. And Jews, Hitler tried to kill Jews. That there also you can use the word genocide. Let us go to allege. We have got many a time. Allege means what? Accuse. Say that someone has done something wrong, but without any evidence. Assassination, murder, yes, all these you have to recollect. Let us go to the next headline. At least 50 killed in Israeli strikes across Gaza Strip. It has been going on for quite some time. And here the same news elaborate Omar Abdullah to be sworn in as Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister today. Tamil Nadu government announces withdrawal of strike by Samsung workers. Adityanath meets barrage violence victims' family. Gujarat government unveils, there's one important word. We have got many a time. I tell students when it comes to disclose, divulge, reveal, they go more with information. Unveil goes more with a policy or a product. See here, what is the combination? Gujarat government unveils new textile policy. These combinations are very important. Unveil a policy, unveil a product, but disclose, divulge, reveal, information, secrets. Word combinations are very important from the exam point of view. Do remember. Now let us go to a Supreme Court notice to UP government over Bharti's plea to transfer case. Bypolls to 4 assembly seats in Bihar on November 13. Prashant Kishore's party set to contest. Supreme Court questions Bengal government on source of authority for employing civic volunteers. I think that is also, it has been going on for some time. Doctors are on strike and Bengal government wants to employ volunteers and court questions whether they have the right or not. Kolkata witnesses citizens protest carnival alongside Durga Puja carnival. There is one word here, of course, you all know the word protest, but carnival. Carnival goes more with festival. Carnival is nothing but a celebration in the streets, especially with music, dance, all these things. We use the word carnival. But here it goes with protest also. Look at the combination. Protest carnival, this is protest carnival, and Durga Puja carnival. It is rather strange using the word carnival with protest. Doctors are still protesting, I suppose, in West Bengal. But the next one says, doctors back at work, West Bengal government informs Supreme Court. BJP MLA Muniratna granted bail in a rape case. Simple words. Kerala gears up for 3 high-stakes bipole battles. Gear up means to get ready. That is a phrasal verb. Gear up for something means what? To get ready for something. By-elections announced for 3 seats in Karnataka. Simple words. Madras High Court expunges remarks against a senior advocate. Expunge, remove, edit, delete. All these words you have to know. That's all about from the editorial, the headlines. So much is there to learn, but because I have to spend time on the editorial analysis, I would like to stop here. Now let us go to today's editorial. What is today's editorial about, and what are you going to learn based on this session? What is the enrichment? At the outset, you will improve your reading comprehension skill. Along with that, you will develop contextual awareness. You will improve your effective vocabulary. Same words you can get, you may get in the exam. Chances are very bright. Grammar consolidation, effective English, a few idioms are there. Many mocks today also have brought. And today a new feature, writing skill. Because coming months we have SBI PO and IBPS PO mains. When it comes to IBPS PO mains, SBI PO mains, you all know there is a descriptive English paper. In that paper, you have to write one essay, one letter. There your writing skill matters a lot. I always tell students, descriptive English makes or breaks your selection. Because English is not a mother tongue, we are not writers, But if you spend some time, improve your writing skill, it makes a lot of difference and chances are very bright to get the job. This is a new feature. As usual, vocab consolidation. Let us go to the words from today's editorial. Some important words are there. Yesterday we got simple words. Today some words are very important. We have got for the first time and not easy to remember. After the session, you have to spend some time. What is the first one? Stir. This is an easy word we have got many a time. Part of speech verb. Stir has two different meanings. You take a glass and you add something, water, you add sugar, let us say, or you add coffee powder, you stir, you want it to get mixed or dissolved. That is one meaning. But here, that is not the meaning. Here, it's a verb to provoke or incite a feeling, action, or debate. Provoke, incite, some action, usually negative, not positive. Do remember, it has a negative connotation. And look at the example. The Nobel Peace Prize to Nihon Hidankyo should help stir debates on nuclear disarmament. Should help. This I'll talk about grammar later. Stir debates means provoke or incite debates. People should start debates regarding nuclear disarmament. That's an important thing. What are the synonyms? Arouse, provoke, incite, rouse. All the four words are important, you have to know. Antonyms: calm, suppress, soothe, pacify. Soothing words and pacify someone. These are also important words. The next one, steadfastly. Steadfast is adjective form, steadfastly adverbial form. Meaning in a firm, unwavering, or loyal manner. I don't consider the word loyal over here. I'll keep it in brackets. But we can say in a firm manner or unwavering manner. Wavering means what? Changing the position, changing the stance, changing the stand or the opinion quite often. Wavering, that is known as wavering. Unwavering means very firm. Based on this word, I would like to give two words. One is some people keep changing their opinions or their goals. Today they say something, tomorrow something else, like civils one day, banks another day, third day perhaps SSC. They keep changing. Then how do you describe that person? You say fickle-minded person. Fickle-minded. This is British English. Americans don't use the word fickle-minded. For that they use a word, expression, scatterbrain. Scatterbrain is American English. We follow British English. We also say fickle-minded person. But Americans don't use that expression. For that they say, he is a scatterbrain. Yes. Nihon Hidankyo steadfastly sought to build consensus on the abolition of nuclear weapons. Means firmly. Synonyms: firmly, resolutely, unwavering. I will not consider loyally. Antonyms: inconsistently, loosely, weakly, waveringly, obviously. Horrors. Generally, when you come across the word horror, what is a combination word? Horror movies. I'm sure you all know this. Horror movies. Typical combination. But here horrors, part of speech, here adjective, here noun. Intense fear, shock. Disgust I don't consider. Usually when we talk about horror, only one factor has to stand out. Which one is that? Fear factor. Especially unpleasant or violent event. Example, the horrors of the atomic bombings continue to haunt the survivors. Haunt. Something comes repeatedly. Usually it goes with, there's another combination you guys have to know. I'm sure some of you know. What is it? Haunted house. This goes with spirits, ghosts, haunted house. Imagine there is an old house, abandoned, and on and off people feel ghosts are visiting or spirits are there. Then we call that haunted house. But this also goes with, you have to know another combination. What is that? Haunted or haunting thoughts. Imagine a bad incident, a nightmare, frightening incident, then same thoughts, negative thoughts keep coming. Then you have to use a combination, haunted thoughts. The thoughts keep haunting, means they come repeatedly, they disturb you. Synonyms, terror, fear, dread. I use this. For many candidates, English is a dreaded language, means most feared language. Not for our students. Shock. Antonyms, comfort, joy, pleasure, delight. Simple words. Aver. Aver is different. Aversion is different. Don't get confused. Aversion means what? Aversion towards someone or something. It means intense dislike. Avert means to prevent. That is a different word. Murli, very good. Avert also you have to recollect. The police averted the threat of some bomb explosion. Avert means to prevent. That is the exact word you have to think of. And here, aver, aversion, dislike. Aver, part of speech verb, the state, to state or assert something to be the case, especially in a confident or forceful way. It is nothing but aver means to be assertive, to say something with a firmness. Then we say assertive, to be assertive. Example, some scholars aver that means what? Some learned people. Scholar means a learned person. A learned person, you have to think of words like polymath, highbrow, intellectual, genius, walking encyclopedia, all these words. Some scholars aver that, assert that Hidankyo's activism helped shift political discourse in Japan. Discourse, discussion, religious discourses, erudite also you can. Good. Synonyms, declare, affirm, assert, state. Firmly, that is important. Antonyms, deny, dispute, repudiate, another important word, refute. Deny, refute the charges, that is one combination. Repudiate means to deny, important words. The last two words are very important. Pacifism, we have got this after perhaps a few years. It's an important word. It has been given in bank exams a few times. And here, pacifism, it's like a doctrine, philosophy. The person who practices that, we use a term, we say he is a pacifist. What is he? Pacifist. So, what does it mean, pacifism? Part of speech noun, the belief in or advocacy for peaceful resolution of conflicts and opposition to war or violence. Actually, the second part is important. Pacifism means opposition to war, saying no to war. Pacifist is a person who does not like war, depends on peace and negotiations. This is an important word. Look at the example. The doctrine of pacifism was included into Japan's constitution after World War II. Means Japan doesn't want war. They believe in pacifism. That's what it means. What are the synonyms? Non-violence, peace advocacy, anti-war stance. Antonyms, militarism, aggression, violence. This is an important word. Belligerent nature. Belligerent means aggressive, ready to attack. And the noun form is a belligerence, an important word. Saber rattling, we have got this for the first time. I've been doing for so many years, but I haven't come across this. This is for the first time we have come across an expression, saber rattling. What does it mean? It's a noun. Threatening or aggressive actions or statements, especially with the intent to intimidate. You threaten someone with the intention of frightening that person. Intimidate means frighten, an important word. Intimidation, noun form. Don't intimidate the kids means what? Don't frighten the kids. That's an important word. And here, saber rattling means threatening or aggressive actions or statements, especially with the intent or intention to intimidate someone. Always ready to fight, Rajeshwari, yes. Belligerent. Example, Russia's saber rattling has contributed to the escalation of tensions. Escalation means increasing tensions. Synonyms: bluster, posturing, intimidation. This is a simple word. All the three words you have to remember. Antonyms: diplomacy, negotiation, conciliation, peacemaking. Conciliation is an important word. Other words are rather easy. Even this we have got in the recent past, we haven't got. And this is an important word. Surreptitiously. What does it mean? Surreptitiously means part of speech adverb, surreptitious adjective. In a secretive or stealthy way. Stealthy means a secretive. Typically because it would not be approved of. Imagine you want to buy something. If people know that you have bought that, they may not approve. Because of that, what do? You try to buy it secretly. You want to keep it a secret. In that context, we use the word surreptitiously. Some countries have surreptitiously acquired nuclear weapons, sparking a dangerous arms race. Imagine a particular country says openly, we want to buy nuclear weapons. Other countries may not approve. Keeping that in mind, what they do, they try to buy the nuclear weapons secretly or stealthily. Then we use a term, they bought the nuclear weapons surreptitiously. This is an important word you have to learn and remember. Synonyms: secretly, covertly, stealthily, furtively. All the words are important. Antonyms: openly, publicly, transparently, covert, opposite, overt. They are rather easy, but all the words you have to remember. Vitiate, part of speech verb, to spoil or impair the quality or efficiency of something. Look at the example. Geopolitical tensions have vitiated existing mechanisms for nuclear non-proliferation. Proliferate means to spread rapidly. For that, there is one idiom, mushroom growth. And here, non-proliferation, stopping nuclear weapons, acquiring nuclear weapons, non-proliferation. Synonyms: weaken, impair, spoil, corrupt. Antonyms: strengthen, enhance, improve, fortify. Simple words, familiar words. That's all about editorial vocabulary or effective vocabulary from today's editorial. Now let us start analysis with the question, what is this editorial about? This editorial discusses the awarding of the 2024 Nobel Peace Prize to Nihon Hidankyo, an organization that has advocated for the abolition of nuclear weapons and supported the survivors of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. The Nobel Peace Prize has been given to an organization based in Japan, and the organization has two objectives. One, stopping arms race, that is one dimension. The other one, working for the survivors or the sufferers of that particular incident. What is that incident? Attacking Nagasaki and Hiroshima, dropping the atomic bombs. What is the tone? The tone of the editorial is reflective. Reflective we have got recently. You think about something or some incident seriously, contemplate, introspect, reflective, pensive, ponder. All these you have to recollect. Reflective, reflect upon the issue means think deeply about the issue. One reflective, the other one critical. Obviously, it has to be critical because the context deals with dropping of atom bombs and a race for nuclear weapons and threat from Russia. It may use nuclear weapons if the situation demands. Let us see the stimulus. What is a stimulus? Sufferers awarded. There is a comma here. It is about an organization that has worked keeping two things in mind, that has been working rather, keeping two dimensions in mind, two objectives in mind. One, stopping weapons, nuclear weapons, abolition of nuclear weapons, and the other one, working towards the welfare of the survivors of that particular incident. What is that incident? Dropping of atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Sufferers, they are also the members of that organization. Sufferers, awarded. On the 2024 Nobel Peace Prize, what is the main idea? The Nobel Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace for the selfless Nihon Hidankyo, should help stir debates on nuclear disarmament, Should help. There are two words which are very important. First one, should, is a helping verb or model. It has two functions. What is the first one? It is used to advise or suggest to someone. What is the second function? It is used to express possibility, but the chances are less. And the second word, help, why is it important? It is a causative verb. What are the important causative verbs? Make, help, get, have, let. And what is the important rule? They do not take the preposition to in active voice. You can use in passive voice. Here you don't see. Should help to stir, that is wrong. Should help stir, incite or provoke debates on nuclear disarmament. Debates on nuclear disarmament means no nuclear weapons. That is the main idea. Yesterday also I did one editorial related to Nobel Prize, but in literature. And any editorial that deals with a particular award, you should have the ability to think of the broad framework. So this goes with the Nobel Peace Prize. What could be the broad framework? Who got it? And what is their background, what are their objectives, why they got, and what have they been doing or what have they done so far, and why should they do that, what is the backdrop information, all that first part. Second part deals with present scenario. Present scenario, what is the relevance of that particular organization and what is going on, what has to be done. This is a broad framework, and this editorial also touches all those pertinent questions, relevant questions. And it starts with 79 years after Hiroshima and Nagasaki were subject to. Here, whatever you see in green color, that is grammar related. Whatever you see yellow, vocab related. Were subject to. An important expression, grammar point of view. It is in, usually we say were subjected to. Were subjected to unprecedented devastation. Were subject to. The word subject, I'm sure all of you know, a subject like anthropology or zoology or geography. But subject has other meanings. Here, subject usually we use as a noun. As a noun, common meaning, literal meaning of the word subject, a subject like anthropology. But subject as a noun also means the one who is ruled. Imagine there is a kingdom and there is a king and there are so many people in that kingdom. All these people are called the subjects of the kingdom. The king rules them. Those who get ruled, we use the word subject. Subjects, plural noun. And as a verb, here as a verb it means to experience, to get the experience or to get experienced, subjected to torture means they had to face the torture, subjected to hardships means they had to face the hardships. That meaning you have to know. 79 years after Hiroshima and Nagasaki were subject to unprecedented devastation. Many words we have already got many a time, so no point in bringing the meanings. I can say, and you can consolidate. Unprecedented means what? Never happened before. We have got it many a time. And devastation, destruction on large scale, we use the word devastation. And we use this when it comes to a natural disaster. Something like tsunami or a cyclone or hurricane, tornado, any of these we say earthquake, a natural disaster, a catastrophe, a mishap, we use devastation, means destruction on a large scale. Were subjected to, or a better expression would have been subjected to. 79 years after Hiroshima and Nagasaki were subjected to unprecedented devastation. Why that unprecedented devastation? Because of what? Americans dropped atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Following the US's act of dropping atomic bombs on these cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Nihon Hidankyo, the organization that worked for the welfare of the survivors, called the Hibakusha. The survivors of that particular incident, about 1 lakh plus survived. They have given a name for those survivors. What is that name? Hibakusha. Called the Hibakusha, and steadfastly sought to build consensus agreement on the need for the abolition of nuclear weapons, has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2024. Has been awarded. This is in which tense? Present perfect, passive voice. Listen very carefully. From here to here, it is one sentence. Nowadays, if you take bank exams especially, you come across lengthy sentences. Whenever the sentence is a lengthy sentence, students get tensed up. As such, they are under tension while taking the exam, and they cannot make out what exactly the sentence means. What I tell students, before you take the exam, bank exam, especially mains, do remember do remember you have to be good at four things. One, when you read a sentence, you have to know for sure the part of speech of every word in the sentence. You should be able to identify. Second, the moment you read the sentence, you have to know for sure what the subject is, what the object is. Third, when you read a sentence, you have to know what the phrases are, what the clauses are that go with the subject or the object. Fourth, when you read the sentence, you have to understand the context, and accordingly, you have to decide what is right, what is wrong. These four aspects are very important to deal with error location, sentence improvement, phrase replacement, close test, fillers, all these exam topics. Now, here the main idea is what? What is the subject? The subject is somewhere here. Nihon Hidankyo has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2024. That is actual idea. What is the actual idea here? Nihon Hidankyo has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2024. But see how the writer has projected. He has added some information before the subject, he has added some information after the subject, and then he has used the actual verb, and the object has been awarded what? The Peace Prize object. And this is what we call precisely a writing skill. Writers, what they do, if you take English language, we have a basic pattern. There are 350 patterns, 350 patterns. But what is the basic pattern in English? SVO pattern. What do the letters stand for? Subject, verb, object. But if the writers use this pattern all the time, they deal with only 3 units. Then that is not writing. So what they do, after the subject, they use a phrase or a clause. After the object, they use a phrase or a clause, then make it a lengthy sentence. This sentence is a typical example how a writer can present information with a simple idea like Hidankyo has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. This is the subject, verb, object. But before that, a few phrases, after that, a few phrases. And you should have the ability to read, understand, comprehend, identify the grammatical units, then you're ready for the exam. A very useful sentence pattern. Today, there are barely more than 1 lakh survivors of the bombing. So, what is the impact? Many people died and some survived. How many people survived? More than 1 lakh survivors. But there's one word in green. Green means related to grammar. Why is it important? Whenever you come across words like barely, scarcely, hardly, you have to think of the combination word. What is the combination word? When. And when you come across no sooner, you have to think of than. Very important, they have given many a time. That is the first aspect. The second dimension, when we begin a sentence with any negative expression, these words, then the clause that follows should be in interrogative form, not in affirmative form. Hardly I had reached the station. Wrong. Hardly had I reached the station. That is right. Barely more than 1 lakh survivors of the bombings, with the average age of the Hibakusha more than 86 years. This is really surprising. After the bombing, dropping atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, how many people survived? About 1 lakh plus. But what is surprising over here, rather shocking, astonishing, average age of these survivors, 86 years, that is really surprising. More than 86 years it seems. An estimated 1.5 lakh people died due to the bombings and many more later due to after effects. Again, very important grammar. Affect, verb. Effect, noun or verb. Not after effects, after effects. That you have to focus on. Of the exposure to radioactivity, obviously that's what happens. The horrors of the atomic bombings and the inaction by the post-war government largely due to US censorship of news of the suffering of the Hibakusha. After the bombings, the Japanese government tried to suppress the information regarding the sufferings of the survivors because of the pressure from the US, and the US wanted the censorship of news of the suffering of the Hibakusha. Because the Japanese government did not live up to the expectations of the survivors, this organization has come into existence. Had Japanese government responded, this organization wouldn't have come into existence and we wouldn't have talked about all this. Because the Japanese government did not respond and it complied with the US's wish of censoring the news related to the sufferings of the survivors, this has come into existence. Crystallized in means came into existence in the formation of the Hidankyo, which lobbied and agitated. If you take any country, you come across lobbying groups. They put pressure on the government regarding policies. Agitate here means protest. What did the organization do? Lobbied and agitated for medical welfare benefits to the Hibakusha and took a steadfast position against atomic weapons. There are two dimensions, as I said. This particular organization, the one which got the Nobel Peace Prize, worked on, or has been working on two dimensions. One, nuclear disarmament or abolition of nuclear weapons. The other, working towards the welfare of the survivors who are known as Hibakusha. For medical and welfare benefits to the Hibakusha and took a steadfast means a firm position against atomic weapons. This is emphasized in their slogan, No More Hibakusha. They have a slogan. What is that slogan? No More Hibakusha. Means what? No more war, no more atomic bombs, and we don't want to have Hibakusha. Means survivors of something like that we don't want to have. In a way, it is like we don't want a war. That's what it means. And the manifestation of that, besides, you should immediately recollect. Beside means what? Next to. Besides means in addition to. Besides their activism in Japan, the Hidankyo also went on tours, went on a trip, went on tours, focus on the preposition on, went on tours to several countries including India to share their suffering and sensitize the world to the horrors of the use of atomic weapons, creating awareness. That's what they wanted to do. The Nobel Committee must be commended. We have got the word commend many a time, but in a different form. What is the form we have got many a time? Commendable. Commend is a verb form, commendable adjective. I usually give the combinations commendable job, commendable work. Means what? Praiseworthy. Someone does very good work, then what do we say? Commendable work means very good, highly appreciative, praiseworthy. Must be commended, is it active voice or passive voice? Please respond. We must commend someone, active voice. Someone must be commended by us, passive voice. Very good, Nagesh. I appreciate your prompt response. The Nobel Committee must be commended for recognizing the Hidankyo, whose activism, as some scholars aver, scholar means what? A learned person. And you have to recollect words like genius, intellectual, highbrow, polymath, walking encyclopedia. All these mean the same. Erudite, scholar, learned person. Aver means assert. What do they say? What do they assert? Their activities helped shift the political discourse, political dialogue or political discussion in Japan towards greater democracy and justice and sensitize the public to the doctrine of pacifism. Because of their activities, people must have thought of this doctrine of pacifism. Doctrine means a philosophy, belief in something. Pacifism, no war policy, which was included into Japan's constitution after its defeat in the Second World War. Because of their actions or activities, people came to know about pacifism. They adopted the doctrine of pacifism, and eventually it was incorporated in Japan's constitution. Pacifism, no war policy. Yet, contrasting word, Despite the activism of anti-war organizations and social movements, in these the selflessness of the Hidankyu and the fact that they were the direct sufferers of the use of atomic weapons stand out. Nuclear states, in spite of all this, there are so many people who suffered, and everyone knows the negative impact of dropping atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. In spite of all that, nuclear states continue to deploy weapons, position weapons in their arsenal. Means a collection of weapons, we use the word arsenal, and use them for saber rattling, use them for threatening, intimidating. A case in point is Russia's recent and unambiguous statement, means a clear statement. You can also say unequivocal statement. Equivocal means ambiguous. Unequivocal means unequivocal. I'm sorry. It means not ambiguous, clear, crystal clear. Unambiguous statement that it will not hesitate to use its nuclear weapons. Russia has given a statement. It is ready to use it. It will not hesitate to use its nuclear weapons. Why is this in green? Because it is a possessive pronoun. Possessive pronouns never take an apostrophe. That you have to recollect. Retaliate against a conventional attack and its use of this threat to brazenly prolong its invasion of Ukraine. It has used that threat brazenly. Brazenly means what? Deliberately, intentionally, openly, shamelessly. We use the word brazenly. There is also the fact that countries such as Israel have surreptitiously acquired nuclear weapons. One more thing. Here we are, on the one hand, we are talking about the sufferers, the suffering, and the negative impact of using nuclear weapons, atomic bombs. On the other hand, we see a country like Russia threatening to use nuclear weapons, and we see a country like Israel acquiring nuclear weapons secretly, stealthily, surreptitiously. This sentence talks about that. There is also the fact that countries such as Israel have surreptitiously acquired nuclear weapons, leading to a nuclear arms race in volatile regions such as West Asia. Volatile means not constant, constantly changing, we say, a volatile situation. Existing mechanisms for nuclear non proliferation also seem to be vitiated, means spoiled by geopolitics, even as the nuclear powers have shown little appetite for serious disarmament. If you take nuclear powers, means countries with nuclear weapons, they have shown little appetite, means no appetite. It has a negative connotation. Appetite usually goes with food, hunger, but here interest. They haven't shown any interest for serious disarmament. That's what it means. That's all about today's editorial, an important one. And the reason why I have brought this, two reasons. One, language proficiency point of view, some important words are there, some important patterns are there. But the second reason, not only because of that, but also because of an important editorial. People will come to know about what exactly happened because of the dropping of atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the impact, and it will throw some sort of light, will make the reader, it is, in my opinion, it is a thought-provoking editorial, will make them think of nuclear disarmament. Whatever the level may be, that doesn't matter. That's all about the analysis. You have listened to me, you have seen, we have, against such a sad reality, the recognition for the Hidankyu, whose Hibakusha members are in the evening of their lives. This is an important idiom. What is the average age of the survivors? 86 years plus. And for that, the writer has used an idiomatic expression. They are in the evening of their lives, means what? Fag end. 86 years average, and that is like almost over, coming to the end of the journey, life journey. For that, in the evening of their lives, should at least remind the world yet again about the horrors of atomic bomb attacks and stir a debate on meaningful nuclear disarmament. Main idea is being reiterated. Now let us go to questions based on this editorial. The first one, what is the primary focus of the editorial? Rather easy to answer. The Nobel Peace Prize awarded to Nihon Hidankyo for their efforts toward nuclear disarmament. So answer is C. Bag under the eyes. Who is this? Rohini. Very good. I appreciate. End of something, last journey, bag under the eyes. Good, very good. What message does the editorial convey about the work of Nihon Hidankyo? Unsuccessful? No. It helped raise awareness about the horrors of nuclear weapons and promoted the most important thing. Promoted what? Pacifism. And because their efforts today in Japan, if you take Japan's constitution, this has been incorporated, the doctrine of pacifism. Answer is B. According to the editorial, which country's recent actions are highlighted as an example of the threat posed by nuclear weapons? None other than Russia. Russia has recently made a statement, given a statement, a Russian president. We don't hesitate. Based on the situation, we are ready to use nuclear weapons, and that has been mentioned in the editorial. What does the slogan "No More Hibakusha" represent in the context of the editorial? A call for medical benefits? No. A demand for greater justice? No. A global appeal for the abolition of nuclear weapons to prevent future victims. Who are these Hibakusha, the survivors, the victims of the droppings of atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima? They don't want to have that. No more Hibakusha. A global appeal for the abolition. Abolish means what? Completely stop, end, remove, stop, ban. You can think of all these words. The next one, which statement best describes the editorial's view on current global nuclear disarmament efforts? Is progressing? No. Widespread international agreement? No. Geopolitical realities hinder meaningful disarmament, and nuclear states continue to maintain their arsenals. They are little interested, they have little appetite for real disarmament. Answer is C. Now let us go to error location. In the past, I would divide the sentence, 4 parts, and the fifth option, no error. But recently, if you take RRB PO mains exam, they came up with a passage. Please listen very carefully, then you can have a look at the sentence. A paragraph, not a passage. And down the question, in this paragraph, how many errors are there? They gave options like 2, 3, 4. No division, nothing. Just a paragraph you have to go through, identify the number of errors, and options 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And if you read like this, you will be able to acquire that skill. Here it is only one sentence without division. There it is a paragraph without division, but you slowly get used to this style. So read the sentence and tell me where exactly the error is. Instead of being a clear winner, he was not given the Best Employee of the Year award. Where is the error? Here we cannot use the word instead. We have to say in spite of. In spite of being the best student, he could not get the first position. That's what we say. Same pattern, in spite of being a clear winner, he was not given the Best Employee of the Year award. Instead is not correct, it has to be in spite of. Having been found guilty of the theft, Sunny was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Here we have imprisonment noun. And before that, we cannot use an adjective in the plural form, one thing. And here we cannot use the apostrophe. So what is the right word? Not 5 years, it has to be 5-year imprisonment. Years is not correct. No. 5 years is not correct. It has to be 5-year imprisonment or sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. You can use a plural form also based on the sentence pattern. Was given 5 years imprisonment. Then you have to take a pause. But he was sentenced to 5-year imprisonment, nothing wrong with that. We cannot use the apostrophe, we cannot use a plural form. Some genuine issues exist with a newly adopted system and needs to be examined seriously. When you read the sentence, as I said, you have to know what the subject is. What is the subject of this sentence? Some genuine issues. It's a noun phrase. In a noun phrase, the last word is a key word. Issues, singular or plural? Plural. Based on that, here we have the verb exist with the newly adopted system. And the second verb, we should not add s or es. And need to be examined, not needs to be examined. No, exist not correct. Nothing wrong with exist. They exist because the subject is plural. Issues exist and they need to be tackled. Needs is not correct. Need to be tackled. Let us go to effective English. We have 5 idioms and some of these are very important. They've given many a time. What is the very first one? Rat race, fear competition. Easy to make out. Eager, I'm waiting eagerly means what? Very enthusiastic, very keen and passionate about something. Based on that, a person excited about doing certain work. We call that person eager beaver. To be dog tired. Tired, in a way, you can guess exhausted. Answer is A. And a cash cow goes with a business, a source of money, a regular source of money, a good way to make money. It is, here it is, to be dog tired, A, and cash cow, it is C. Cat nap, a short sleep. So, what is the correct order? Well, how come rat race? It is, and eager beaver, my mistake. Here it should be E. So, what is the correct order? D, E, A, C, B. Very good. All the 5 you should be happy. I gave an assignment regarding a writing skill. This is in brief. I don't know whether you can make out or not, but I will tell you. Imagine second one E. Yes, I corrected. Nagesh, DEACB. This is about when you have to write about yesterday's editorial, Han Kang. She got the Nobel Prize in Literature. Imagine someone tells you write about the person, that person, and first you have to write about her, what is she known for, her name, what she is known for, then her personal background, then her professional background, and the fourth idea, why she has been in the limelight, because she got the Nobel Prize in Literature. Han Kang is a South Korean poet and novelist known for her intense and innovative prose that explores themes of trauma, human fragility, and historical events. This is about the person introduction. Born in Gwangju, she moved to Seoul at the age of 9 and later studied Korean literature. This is about her personal background. Influenced by her novelist father, she ventured into writing while also incorporating elements of art and music into her narratives. This is her professional background. And any person who has got Nobel Prize obviously have to talk about the works. All this related to her works. Her best known work, The Vegetarian, won the 2016 International Booker Prize, and her writings often reflect on South Korea's turbulent history, such as the Jeju Island massacre in We Do Not Part and the Gwangju uprising in Human Acts. Now coming to this one, present, why should we talk about that? Why should we talk about her? Why should we write about her? In 2024, she became the first Korean to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, further elevating Korean literature on the global stage. This is a little formal, but what you can do when you try to, because descriptive English is very important, writing skill is very important, you should make 4 ideas about the person, then personal background, professional background, why she has been in limelight. You can write simple sentences also based on the 4 ideas. That's how you have to start. These are the words we got yesterday. Try to recollect the meanings and consolidate. Trauma means what? Agony, acute pain. It could be physical, it could be mental. Muse means a source of inspiration for writers, painters, sculptors, artists, a source of, what do you mean by that? What practice writing? Precise writing. It is not precise, précis, Nagesh. I think you are asking about that. It means, imagine there's an essay of 300 words. You have to go through and you have to write about the same essay in 100 words, in brief. That is what we call presse writing. Once it was part of bank exams, but now they have removed. Fragile, adjective, fragility, noun, delicate, brittle. Foray means venture, to get into some activity. Massacre, killing people, large number of people brutally. Annihilation, eradication or completely removes a particular group of people or something. Exactly. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. And after the session, we'll provide the PDF. Join the Telegram group and access the PDF. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.